Today and on December the 15th at the West End Cultural Centre, the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra will be presenting their own unique take on the 1966 Christmas classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is a show that will have all audience members singing along and swinging like a real Who from Whoville. Joining the WJO will be veteran jazz singer Helen White and actor and comedian Quinn Greene. Greene will be harnessing his and all of our collective Boris Karloffs to replicate the crustiness and sourness of Mr. Grinch. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio, I am joined by the one, the only, the OG, Mr. Grinch, Quinn Greene. Hey, Quinn, it's nice to have you here in studio.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's wonderful to be here with all my Grinchy self.
I want to start at the interview by asking, is this the role you were meant to play? Have you always wanted to play the Grinch? And how does it feel to be performing as the Grinch alongside the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra?
You know what? It really is one of those roles that I feel like I can embody really, really well. I started off doing acting. I moved into the city when I was quite young. I mean, I'd done some stuff in my hometown of Moosehorn, Manitoba and the Interlake, some theater. But really, I stepped into theater when I first moved to Winnipeg with the PTE. And one of the first courses, one of the first stage performances I ever did was the Grinch. Playing the Grinch. So this really harkens back to my youth as an actor. And I mean, you know, I like Christmas. Christmas is fun, but I do have a very big bah humbug side. So yeah, it felt like as soon as Richard and I started talking about this project, we've worked together with Charlie Brown, a Charlie Brown Christmas, a few years now, and that was a very new collaborative process. And with this one, we're like, okay, old hat now. We know each other. We kind of have a sense of what we like to do. Let's try the Grinch. And you know, it just felt amazing to shrink down my heart for the Grinch role this year.
So when exactly were you approached to play the Grinch? And I have to ask, what does it say when somebody approaches you and wants you to play the Grinch? What does it say about you?
Well, you know, honestly, I kind of brought it to Richard. We'd been discussing it here and there for the last few years. And then we thought, you know what, we've had such a great run with the Charlie Brown Christmas, lots of positive audience response. Now that theater is opening up a bit more, you know, I poked and prodded Richard for the Grinch. He said, are we ready? Should we do this? And I think we're ready. We should. And then, you know, and then as soon as he was like, yeah, let's go for it, you know, my heart grew 3 sizes. And then, you know, it fluctuates as the Grinch. But I very, very much was excited to do the show. And so that process started in around June, July this year, where we started really seriously discussing it and picking through the process of it. And boy, am I so excited to put it on stage.
It sounds amazing. The first show is tonight at the West End Cultural Centre. Can you tell us how the show exactly is going to work and what people can expect tonight and on the 15th?
So it is really a fusion of theater and comedy, along with the jazz orchestra. It's a very unique show, one of a kind, really, Manitoba made. It's really, Richard has done such an amazing job of adapting this amazing soundtrack and some other Christmas pieces to jazz them up and make them really, really, really vibe. And then I've brought, you know, a lot of my theater background. I've produced plays. I've been a comedian for years, and you know, adapting this piece into sort of a one-man show with the band, and Helen's brought her own energy and voice. It really is a very, very special project. So, you know, it's very family friendly. Be sure to bring, you know, if you have some costumes or little Christmas items. There's a certain amount of audience interactivity that happens. It's all very tongue in cheek and very fun. Yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, expect to see some of the most amazing and talented musicians in Winnipeg on that stage tonight and on the 15th. And then me, too.
That's for sure. I know Helen. She's a dear friend of mine. Aside from being a fantastic singer, she's got a great sense of humor. Can we expect some shtick between you and Helen on stage as you perform?
Oh yeah, that's one of the first things we talked about is how much shtick can we imbue this show with together. And one of the wonderful things is I didn't realize when I first started working with the jazz orchestra how improvisational jazz is, and so that's part of my background as a comedian as well as a stage actor, is a little vaudeville, a little pratfalls and improv, and so Helen absolutely brings that energy too. Mm-hmm. So we're really playing on that stage and discovering things every show that make it more fun and exciting.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'm sure the band sounds fantastic. Can you tell me how the band has managed to jazz up the Grinch story from the 66 classic?
Absolutely. I mean, we've definitely added a few songs to the repertoire of the show, a few jazz standards. There's Boogie Woogie Santa Claus, and they've done an amazing arrangement of Faith Hill's Where Are You Christmas from the 2000 Grinch film with Jim Carrey.
Right.
And as for the original soundtrack, Richard he brought another amazing composer, Greg Crow in, and they took. They blended the script. They took the music that already exists, and just filled it out with all these beautiful, obviously there's some amazing solos. You've got all of the horns. You've got you've got that big bass guitar strumming away. Uh-huh. I think there's going to be a lot of moments where obviously you can sing along. You're going to be able to recognize these tunes right off the bat. Mm-hmm. But I think there are moments that are really going to surprise fans, not only of the show, but of jazz itself, when you hear how he's taken the songs and really made them smooth and silky and just so fun.
Yeah, and swinging.
Swinging, indeed. It is. Yeah, I can't help but dance along to this show. Even when I'm the Grinch, I'm trying to hold it back. He doesn't like Christmas or Christmas music. But you can't help. It comes out. So I hope you're bopping along with us.
There's actually 3 performances that are going to be happening. There's the one tonight, and then there's one on the evening of December the 15th. But can you talk a little bit about the school show that you're going to be doing on the 15th as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a show that's designed for kids, not only to, I think, because they love the Grinch so much. I mean, it's amazing the longevity of that piece from the book in 57, obviously Dr. Seuss's classic, right, to the 66 cartoon, the 2000 Jim Carrey, and then they've adapted it, I think in 2021 or 22, they had a CGI version. Oh, wow. So I mean, this carries on. So what's amazing is you have an audience parents can bring their kids and identify with it because they grew up with it. Yeah. You have grandparents who can bring their kids. And with that student show, it's very, very kid friendly, very, very, there's moments where, we had a show in Portage la Prairie the other day, and the interaction with the kids is so wonderful. They love to sort of revile the Grinch. I had a kid shaking their fist at me. There's moments where I'm kind of a little, like closer to them. And the one kid like threw his Santa hat on the ground and, was really angry with me. So I feel like that show will be a great opportunity to introduce kids to have kids interact with the show that they love, but also to learn a lot more about jazz, because I think that's maybe not a medium that a lot of younger folks really know. And this is a beautiful opportunity. If you've never heard jazz, or you want to introduce your family to jazz or your kids to jazz, this is such a fantastic way to do it.
Perfect. Amazing. You touched on it earlier. The WJO is encouraging people to wear their favorite Christmas costumes. So I guess breaking out the ugly Christmas sweater should be top priority for those, right?
Absolutely. The uglier, the better. I mean, it's really, bring your Santa hats. If you got elf ears, we love any sort of, we had one kid come in his Grinch onesie. If I see some fellow Grinches there, I'll show you some Grinchy, I would say love, but it's a little more familial Grinchy scorn.
A masterclass in Grinchiness.
Exactly. If you want any tips or pointers, I hope I can give that to my fellow Grinches out there. But do, please. It's a very, very, it's a show that encourages the audience to to really step into the world of Whoville, the Grinch, and this amazing jazz band. So bring that energy, bring your costumes, bring your biggest belly laughs and your Grinchiest grins, and we'd love to see you there.
Oh, Quinn, it's going to be great. The show on the 15th and tonight sounds like it's just going to be so much fun. All the best tonight, and thanks for taking the time to stop by and chat with me today. This has just been great.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's been wonderful.
For our Classic 107 listeners, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas show tonight with the WJO and Quinn Greene and Helen White is at 7:30 at the West End Cultural Center. If you can't make it tonight, you can always see it on the 15th as well. For details, go to classic107.com. Quinn, thanks again.
Thank you. Enjoy the show.